There was a time in the 12th century when a Moorish warrior was born to dominate much of Al-Andalus. He was declared emir, ruler of the independent kingdom of Murcia, one of the Taifa kingdoms into which Al-Andalus was divided at the time. His name was Muhammad ibn Mardanish, and he ruled the kingdom of Murcia and Valencia from 1147, when he was 23 years old, until his death in 1172. He became an important political figure of his time, but also a controversial one. Many people loved him, but many others hated him. He went far beyond the limits of his kingdom, incorporating new territories in the southeast of Spain, and for some years gave Murcia splendor and fame. If you want to know him, listen to our story.
My Arabic name is Muhammad ibn Mardanis. However, everyone called me the Wolf King. Why do they call me so? Well, although my family had a Christian origin, we had converted to Islam in the first year of the Muslim invasions to keep our land. My name was Lope, but it sounded like lupus, wolf in Latin, and that was how people used to call me. My family name, Martinez, was also transformed into Mardanish when we became Muslims. I was born in 1124. By that time, most of the Iberian Peninsula was dominated by the Arabs. They had come from the north of Africa 400 years earlier and ruled over Al-Andalus, the Muslim area of Spain. It wasn't a time of peace. The Almohads wanted to control all Al-Andalus, but I didn't like them at all. And in the north, the Christian kings were also meant to be my enemies. But I managed to have a friendly relationship with my Christian neighbors, through trade and tolerance of mixed faith communities. I defended them from the Almohad Muslims in the south who were very radical and wanted to conquer my territory, as well as to create the Almohad Caliphate. They hated me for my mixed origins and because I didn't follow the jihad.
His attitude towards the Christian kingdoms, the presence of Christian soldiers in his troops, as well as the clothes he used to wear and the ornaments he had, revealed a mixture of cultural elements in his personality. Although he dressed as a Muslim and led a Muslim life, he was very liberal indeed, being surrounded by Christians and Jews who trade with him.
Our brother converted this province, the Moorish province of Tadmir, into an independent state, and the city of Murcia became its capital. He built fortresses and palaces. His territory included the cities of Murcia, Valencia, and Denia. But he went far beyond the limits of this kingdom, incorporating new territories in the southeast of Spain. To defend the kingdom, he had many fortresses built.
When Ibn Mardanis married me, he was given part of my father's land in the west of Murcia. He became so powerful that he threatened Córdoba and besieged Sevilla, stopping the Almohads, who wanted to unify all Al-Andalus. For a short time, he managed to own Granada. Under his emirate, Murcia lived a great splendor. This is the Alcázar Seguir, built outside the walls of the city in the north. As the Alhambra some years later, our palaces enjoyed courts with pools, myrtle and palm trees. We loved water. It meant peace for the soul, freshness and beauty. Here was the throne room for audiences, receptions and judgments.
My lord ruled a land of palm trees, orange, lemon and apricot trees, saffron, sugarcane, pomegranates and jasmine, over a land covered in myrtle, as the myrtle in our gardens. That's why this city is called Murcia or Murcia. They had a big Alcázar, the Alcázar Nasir inside the walls of the Medina. Some of them were buried there.
His military successes were followed by an improvement in the economy, what made Murcia be the main Muslim city of Spain. Wolf King brought a time of prosperity to manual laborers. Builders, painters, carvers, and different artists came to the town to work in the various constructions that Wolf King fostered. To defend his dominions from the Almohad attacks, he had defensive castle built. He ordered to enlarge and reinforce the walls that protected the town.
In the area of Monteagudo, he had a castle fortress, a symbol of his great power. From there, he could dominate the whole valley. He also had a little castle called Castillejo, with luxurious room and recreation spaces. It had a great court in the middle and was the source of inspiration for the Battle of the Lions in the Alhambra in Granada. In the same area, he had the Larache Castle, a palace fortress related to agricultural production. At a time, poetry from Murcia became very important and well known. It was sold to the Italian republics.
The town became prosperous thanks mainly to agriculture. Wolf King encouraged the correct usage of the river Segura waters. For centuries, Romans and mainly Muslims had created a complex web of irrigation which is called acequias, as well as wells, ditches, gutters, and digs that distributed water along big areas for agriculture purposes. Wolf King contributed to the establishment and maintenance of the watering system.
This is the wheel of Alcantarilla, used to lift the water of the river into new ditches that will be used for crops. There were also industries dedicated to ceramic, pottery, and silk, which was exported to Europe. Wolf King was a diplomatic king who took advantage of commercial deals with the Italian republics of Genoa and Pisa. Thanks to this, he minted his own currency, dinars, that even 2 centuries after his death were still legal in Europe.
But in 1165, a formidable Almohad army coming from Africa and Seville met him, and most of properties and lands were destroyed by his enemies. His home was vandalized. 4 years later, his father-in-law became an Almohad himself and destroyed him. The Almohad came back in 1171 and fought again. Little by little, the village around Murcia became allies to the Almohad and expelled Christian habitats and soldiers.
Even Mardanis lost his support. The Christian kings in the north didn't help him, and his mercenary soldiers left him as they were not paid. He was about to surrender when he died. After him, the Almohads hurried to conquer all Al-Andalus, and that is how the most brilliant days of the kingdom of Murcia faded and were forgotten.